Hey there, welcome to yet another episode of Wrath of the Righteous. I'm Serial, you're a Let's Player. Let's go ahead and pick it up. Yeah, so we just basically recovered consciousness, as it were. The situation was so bad that the game basically had a GM fiat. It's like, we're just going to shuffle along after kicking your ass and move on along with this. So, hand waving aside, we are now fully rested, fully stocked up on spells, and just hit level 3, so let's get on with it. It seems like everybody's here waiting. Let's go check it out. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Nivea is outside the door, leaning casually against the shelf. So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that. And I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action, but here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Well, everything seems clear so far. What else do you want to discuss? Or do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? Do you think the demons will attack next? I'm just going to go with one. So the rift that damn beetle left with his scythe? Yeah, well, it cut the city into two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried to make it, sure, but if one's got a mind to go across, I think you're going to have to eventually. You might want to give the square a once-over. Alright, when do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand, and we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after the attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you got any business that needs to be taken care of, you better do it soon. Okay. Watch yourself out there. Alright. Well, she's up and walking around. No broken ankle to speak of, huh? Alright. Staunton Vein. Oh, I can't click him. Well, he doesn't want to respond.
Watch out for trouble.
Well, there's Camila. Camila looks over you pensively, toying with a snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that she wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long and she slips back into cautious silence. Alright. So your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice, but I assure you this amulet's nothing but a bauble. Can any lady not be drawn to beautiful and useless things? Yeah, but we've seen your amulet. It's not useless. You're so much more relaxed during combat. Your battle cries are uninhibited. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes. So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle at my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather, vocal. Alright, well, where did you learn to wield a rapier? I had good teachers, although they don't get all the credit. I am a most diligent student. Camila licks her parched lips. Yeah, you're a murderer, aren't you? I mean, everything about you just screams, I love killing. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? She arches a dainty brow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me on this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Anyway, as much as I enjoy your life conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. And she turns away, watching me out the corner of her eye. By spirits, you meant liquor. Okay, gotcha. Horgus Worm. Here, take this. Yes, it's 2,000 coins. Take your payment and remember that Horgus Worm always keeps his word. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Now, speaking of our future cooperation... Oh. Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps? Noble of heart but without a coin to your name? Horgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves, so why should I care what you do with the man once you've got it? Succeeded at a perception check. Alright. Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. However, you hear notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as if though he's really quite nervous, but taking great pains to conceal it. Alright, so what does the job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Kenabras. I still have... well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. Alright, well, I happen to be a follower, Abadar, just saying. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they were no desire to set foot outside of tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also, please do take Camilla with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. Alright, well, what kind of reward we... Ooh, that might be tough. I'm gonna try for double. Wow, I got it! Rolled an 18. Several tense moments pass in silence and Horgus' face relaxes. Deal. Alright, deal. Marvelous, most excellent. His face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. Alright. Worm family secrets.
Keep your calm.
Who the hell is Kayado? Oh, there's Lan. Lan greets you with a nod. Here for a chat? I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. Okay. I'd like to know more about you. Tell me of your people. What do you think life on the surface was different from underground? Don't think... okay. Sure, why not? Know more about you. Yes, your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Funnily enough, common isn't that common underground, Lan says, but your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while and had a chance to learn a couple things. The language and the fact that every peasant sees my scaly mug screams, "Demon!" and runs away. Yeah, because you're like half satyr, half lizard man. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you're interested, but my mom wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler and the kind that used the dungeons of Kenabras to secretly move and store goods. One time, two gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut, got into a fight, and the winners threw the losers down a hole, dead and living alike. My dad went to check on the corpses, if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them, or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet and later even left his home caves. And he literally even left his home caves. She left her smuggling behind and she began an honest life together. Okay. That's the delightful story of how old land came into this world. The next chapter, however, my family and I never stayed in one place for long. We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes in the ground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mom, and my dad parents raised too many questions in Mindev. We're at war against the demons after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separated. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasant's screaming demon had something to do with it, or maybe my dad just couldn't stand life without rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Okay. So did you come with me to see the surface again? No, that wasn't it. I just don't have much patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, I mean. If they want to destroy Kenabras, I'll be on the side of people they're attacking. Yeah, I don't really. Sounds like a poor reason to uproot your whole life. You're persistent, aren't you? Lan arches his only brow he has, then suddenly turns grim and looks away. Fine, you have a right to know. Did I mention I was born of a marriage between an uplander girl and a mongrel from the caves? My birth, hell take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents, all because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling mongrel and anyone from the surface. A healthy child with the right number of hands and feet. No apparent defects, no missing organs, or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risked having more children. And they thought it would somehow be alright. Growl edges into Lance's voice. I could have had 4 brothers. The first was born 2 years after me and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose, nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mom and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something. But in the end, it was his weak heart that killed him. There was another pregnancy and birth. I pretended I was sleeping, but I snuck out of my bedroom and listened under her door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. Mom moaning, yes, the priest praying, and then I dare open the door a little and look inside. The priest stood there very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, do you know what this is? And the other said, I think it's a head. Lance stopped. Wow. Lan pauses, exhales, and continues in a steadier voice. It turned out that this time Mom was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the others 2 didn't long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the caves. I didn't want to leave. I could see it in his face, but I think Mom and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the First Crusade stood between him. Not to mention the 4 dead babies, and old age was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After we returned to the cave, he only lived another 4 years. Jeez. So if you're asking me why I decided to go up with you to the surface and join the Crusaders, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it always haunted me that I'd die in a world where 4 crusades could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept growing. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing things is too much to ask, at least get me a little revenge. The ones who are behind the world wound owe me a great debt. The lives of 4 brothers, all my mother's tears, and my father's broken heart. It's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple demons won't do it for me. I want to do something real, and I'm ready to pay any price. Call it my personal crusade if you like. Lan gives you a slanted grin. I used to think that things would be better if I would never been born, but now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Would you like to find your mother? No. Word flies from Lan's mother faster than an arrow. After a pause, he continues. I don't want to meet her, not because I feel any resentment, it's just that she's a half-elf. She barely got her first gray hair, and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another one. I hope you understand. Okay. I'm very lucky. I met someone who not only helped me choose the right path, but was happy to listen to my whining. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, that explains. So he's half elf, half mongrel, half elf, half mongrel. So he lives like he has like a human life. Okay. And as old as I look, no surprise there, but I remember Saul. He's 10 years older than me, and I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see his target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it'll be better tomorrow, and then you notice you're having trouble breathing, and then climbing is harder than before. Lang clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending, you have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on the greaves without help. Then you're washing your face and stream. Sometimes you catch the sight of a great beard, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. Lan takes a breath. My dad kept diaries marking all the signs, and I saw it too. Last year I had to help him out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the service, and he joked that that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. I want to talk to you about Windog. Are you sure? All right. Just friends or more than that? Wow, you really don't pull your punches, do you? Nope. There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Windog knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I should have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those kinds of feelings. So can you wear a hat with one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't suit me too well. He speaks in a deadly serious voice. Okay. Alright. Indara? Who the heck are you? There's no picture of you. Okay. An imposing young Oread is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on every word. I hope this clearly illustrates the difference between Jiska, Legionnaires from Last War, and the Crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not to ragtag bunch of individuals, but as a united whole. Okay. Oreads are humanoids that have ties with earth elementals. Like they might be part of that bloodline. Which, personally, I don't know how the hell that works, but okay. Now tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless exhaust where everyone is fighting for their ego and the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice. Some of the Crusaders are grumbling unhappily, but it's clear they are captivated by a woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly, disheveled monk, whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. Looks like we've got ourselves a student of warfare. Woman gives you a suspicious look and raises an eyebrow. Were your words meant to recognize my achievements or start a fight with the way living crusaders usually do? One of the crusaders angrily curls his fists and retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours or whatever had come to us when we had their guts for garters, you'd think we never fought a mighty adversary before. Well, I totally misread that. Whatever. The soldier's stern-faced facade cannot fully conceal his relish. She clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know that these fortifications were defended by Jistkin priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. Wow. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes with pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at you and flashes a amusement smile. The lecture's over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Idaria, a warrior, magus, scholar of classical warfare from Garand. Okay. Alright. That's not a region I know particularly well. The woman peers at you with apprehensively in his eyes. I'll admit, I am mildly offended by the fact my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept this as due to Aveston's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. Alright. Come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Glorian, and I don't normally identify with any country in particular. Alright, well, why? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between denizens on the plain famous for its love of violence, and the crusaders of every continent united by a common goal defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Pink eye? The monk with a black eye grins and mutters in his breath. Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and walks outside. The woman smirks contemptuously. She does not seem deem the monk's words worthy of comment. Yeah, I won't comment on that. Hardly surprised that I've presented my take on this war in a clear and succinct manner. Succulent. Succinct. There's nothing to argue about. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how it should be done? No. I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict in which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jiska. The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty worse to justify not actually doing the fighting. What's this last war you mentioned? Last War of Jiska, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Assyrian pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jiska Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that follow are but a pale shadow, including this one I am witnessing here. So imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrified monstrous birds of prey to drop forces upon top of the enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels to having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Okay. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jiska, the deadly Night Plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its master wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horror of the nightmares that they made real. Wow. How do you know so much about the Jiska last war? I could say without false modesty that there's no more authoritative research on Gloria when it comes to the history of war for 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalon. I've dedicated my whole life to the subject. I personally visited all battlefields, studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives, contained chronicles of ancient orders, and sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city in the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an exterminator class combat golem guarded at Jiska Laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask at the service of the Pharaoh of the Forgotten Place used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jiska Empire. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I am telling you about. Wow. So she does take risks, but only if it's, like a true scholar, if it interests her. Well, sure, I'll follow this. Let's see where it goes. A debate? Oh, I'll be happy to provide that current conflict holding with the last war of Jiska. Okay. Very well, the last war of Jiska was waged using a significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and the strategic plan was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Okay. Compared to the Jiska, we are but stone club wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wife Counselor Dagan advice to the Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of this statement, but here it is nevertheless. The Gladfly sees the ox pays no heed to the Gladfly, but crimson fever takes them both. I'll go with diplomacy. Okay. Crushed that one. The earnest on the faces of those around you has taken away Indira's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stumble over words. Of course, I'm not trying to diminish the importance of current events. What I'm trying to say is that the standpoint of history, and particularly of the history of warfare, she falls silent, fixedly staring at her unfriendly eyes of her audience. The true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. She offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact in a base that grows ever more meager the farther the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I argue in bad faith the way Crusaders embellish the tales of slaying a single Brimarack, by adding a dozen Balers, for example, I could win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I am forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. I'm sure you would have been able to expound on your arguments in a longer discussion. Indara nods with obvious relief. I'm glad we both understand this limitation. It is always a pleasure to face a worthy opponent, even if the debate takes place in a grimy tavern. Perhaps especially because of that. Oh. Indara buckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use to not only for the strong, but also for the wise. Claw of Jiska. And this is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It's about time I got back to my research. A hint of a smile graces her lips, and she sees disappointment in the eyes of many crusaders around her. Stay safe. Whoosh. Okay. What is this Claw of Jiska? It's a short sword. Flaming +1 short sword. Okay. Well, nobody here has use for that. I suppose that could change. Who the hell are you? Tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and short close to his head in a military style. He is lean and well-groomed, and with a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set of his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that there is a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I am Hillor, venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. Ah, okay. You are the venture captain of Kenabras. Gotcha. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in the region of Mindev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone without support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. Okay. So this is where I can recruit stuff. And that was true for the last game too. There was a Pathfinder contact that you can get recruits from. Okay, so that's Irabeth. I don't need to talk to her right now. And quite frankly, I think I've gabbed enough. Let's go. Holy hell. It's a golem, I think. I don't know what's going on. Commander, look what we got here. She just appeared out of nowhere. You two mad? Whatever possessed you to steal the gym golem? I don't know. Belongs to the treasury, you know, that was worth more than a castle. Uh-oh. Alright. That cutscene was a bit clunky. Press the digit painter golem. You change my armor, don't you? May Shaylin brighten and vivify your day. Shaylin is a deity of artistry. What are you? I'm a prestidigitator golem. Many millennia ago, was built by Islamic clerics of the Shaylin, the goddess of beauty, to make the world a better place. In my joyful service, I've visited many lands, and for the past few centuries, I have resided in the Temple of the Sunrise, Christantium in Tianza. Okay. But then the good cleric saw me fit to offer me as a gift to the Mendivian Crusaders so I could share in the beauty that I could create. Can you do anything useful? They granted me ability to place illusions on various items. I could change their color and texture to make it more beautiful and appealing to the eye. Would you like me to cast illusion over your armor to make it green? Green is a very pleasant color, and it wouldn't match your eyes. No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. I was not designed for any type of combat, yet I can bring beauty and harmony to any type of combat. Okay. wonder where Sela's at. I haven't found her anywhere. Oh well. They all died, my whole troop. I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, this is the global map. So where are we going? We need to go to the market square. Tower of Estrad. Worm's Mansion. I got a quest there. I have to bring Camilla. Cherubate Residence if I happen to make it there. And all that must be the huge scar carved into the city. Alright. So it is morning. Run the tactical combats automatically. Alright. Well. Let's go to the market square. We just came from there. Take an hour to travel to the square. Okay. Fallen horse. Bloody carcass of a strong steed with a broken leg is covered in mangled armor. The saddlebag is intact. Alright, let's go here instead. Talk to Staunton. That might be his horse.
That posed little challenge.
Thiefling. No! I'll tell you everything. Just don't hit me. I never stole nothing. It was only just joining the thieflings. Just back the way he came, if I explained something. It was all them back there. They found an underground passage to the Great Garrison. They've been nicking that stuff out of there ever since. Low down thief and toe rags. That's what they are. Tell me more. Right, so the temple around here, the temple of Adonai has the cellar and passes leads to it right to the Great Garrison. The thieflings, my pals, damned a lot of them, have been... Damn my pals, damned a lot of them. Have been using this passage on and off to sell all sorts of stuff to the soldiers in the Great Garrison. So when the demons burst into the city, we thought we'd check up on the Great Garrison to see how the soldiers were faring and to offer assistance. Yeah... You hate our guts, thieflings. I mean, you lock us up and do worse to us. But I'm not. Who are you? There's the Judge Dredd action. I got what I needed. Well, I didn't do anything. Yeah, you did. You're an accomplice. You're guilty.
Time to practice my combat abilities.
God. Fucking stinking cloud. Sela and Camila both failed. Okay. Oh, man.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Oh, okay. Point blank is on. Deadly aim is already on. Okay, that's fine. Sunder armor. Sela is not doing well. She is nauseated. Neither is Camila, so I'm gonna make sure she gets out of there. I'm nauseated too? Well, son of a bitch. Only land made their save. Okay. God, 6 rounds.
You won't survive me.
Really? I rolled ones on damage twice. That sucks. Alright, well, the cloud we were standing in is gone. The nausea is not.
Endure this.
We gotta get you some cold iron arrows, dude.
Make every strike count.
Miss and a miss. Alright. Can you...
Into the fray, the inheritor. Guide my blade.
What the hell's that? Never mind. Got my answer.
I'll just have to resort to brute force. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Good, 10 damage there. Yeah, I know, they reduced 5. It could have been 10 damage, but... Still can't attack because they got maxed out on their freaking penalty. God, that stinking cloud's so broken.
The light, take you. Into the fray.
Still nauseated.
You won't survive me.
Alright, well at least I took out one of them.
No glory without risk.
Alright, so this is the last round of nausea. Good night. Just in time to coup de grace. Oh, by the way, did I forget to mention? I'm using a Falcutta, so this is going to be ×3.
Serve as an example.
So that did 16 damage, reduced by 5. So it was like 21. But still.
Save the last one for me.
Oh man. Neophyte Barbarian? Alright, Sela. See what she can do now that you're not nauseated right off the bat. God dang it. I didn't want to... Alright. Take out their sharpshooter. Oh! I got you, Lan.
So it comes to this.
Or not. Damn it. Ow! Well, it wasn't a crit, but still. I ain't got hit. Alright, we gotta take out this barb.
The light take you!
I'll cut you wide open.
Make every strike count.
Nope, that's a miss. That's also a miss. Damn. Hey, big guy.
You've made your choice.
That's 7 damage. I'm really looking forward to confirming a crit. There goes his head. Ow, I wasn't supposed to get crit, damn it. Attack of opportunity, drew 2 of them. Yeah, I think I need to go over here. I think those guys will be able to take that cleric by themselves.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Almost dropped him.
The spirits command your blood.
And down they go. That would provoke 3 times. Okay.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
So 1 hit for... six damage.
This is not my time yet. This was unexpected.
To say the least. Well, we're gonna get some XP at least if we survive. Try to throw javelin, provoked attack of opportunity, and died for it.
No glory without risk.
There you go. 14 damage, Sela. Nicely done. That's max damage for you, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's like a ghetto crit almost. I call them ghetto crits. So he's got 2 hit points. So just don't roll a 1 for damage there, Camila.
You are today's sacrifice.
Oh, it's a half orc. God bless it. Okay. Just delay. Just delay.
This is unexpected.
You won't survive me. I've survived worse.
I'm not dead, am I? No, I'm not, but I am not looking great. least they'll stabilize me. Crusader's dead.
Go for their heart.
1 point there.
Endure this.
Little fighters, CR4. Well, CR3 really, but anyway, still 4th level fighter. Hit spacebar to speed this up a little bit. Good.
Into the fray.
Ooh, good crit from Sela. Nice. That power attack is doing some damage.
I'll cut you wide open.
Still standing. He's got 1 hit point.
Make every strike count.
They crit for 9. Last one.
This was unexpected.
It was unexpected. Damn, just out of charge range.
Magritium Turinos.
Move action to stand. Standard action to channel. Heal for 7. Move action to stand up. Standard action, fire a shot.
Just the wrong mongrel.
Ooh, I could use that shield. I'm gonna take that. Longsword isn't particularly worth much, but oh, the cleric has some goodies. So leather armor, some scale mail, whatever. I'll just leave this here for the time being. I do want that shield though. Where'd it go? It gets me a 19 AC, which is better than an 18. She's got to change shirt, so she's pretty much already got her best armor. Outside of maybe like a mithril medium armor, but that's getting ahead of myself there. They got all kinds of loot. Ooh, composite longbow. It's worth a lot of money. Okay, let me see what Land's got. Aside from only having 1 hit point. Just a regular longbow. Bring, there you go. Actually, you should be using those to masterwork. Really? Four to 11, a D8 plus 3. What's this do? Just a D8. Okay. I'll definitely composite. I need the extra damage. Badly. So I guess that allows me to add, because this is composite, add my strength modifier to damage for the arrows. And being how it's a compound bow, they're usually harder to pull, just like in real life. Makes sense. So, alright. Well, we were fresh as a daisy when we started this day, not so much anymore. Pretty good rolls on the potions, so I'm not going to complain about that. Alright. I get the feeling there's a lot more to this market square left to explore. And I'll get to that soon enough, but for now, I'm going to save. Because I'm also realizing that... let's delete an autosave. And delete this save as well. It's been about an hour, and I don't want to go past that as far as like time markers concerned. So, anyway, thanks for watching on this particular episode. We're gonna go ahead and continue to clean out the market, and yeah, pick it up from there next time. Take care.